Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. We have a massive victory that is developing for the Trump administration. This is something that the Democratic Party didn't think he could do, and something that should silence his critics, especially those who believe that he's some warmongering fascist and some authoritarian. But before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on Fox News Sunday, and he told Gillian Turner there has been a big development with the hostages that are being held in Gaza under the terror group Hamas. And Rubio said that the deal to get the hostages released has been accepted in principle by Hamas. This is a big deal. Let's go to the tape.
Time to bring in Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Mr. Secretary, thank you for taking time with us during this crucial period in terms of the ongoing negotiations. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, sir, on Monday, President Trump gave Hamas a deadline of 6 p.m. tonight to accept all 20 points of his proposed plan. Then Friday, Hamas came forward and said, well, we accept one. Are you concerned at all that this is a play for more time, a stalling tactic?
Yeah, and I don't think that's fairly an accurate description of what's happened here. The way to think about this is twofold. Number one is Hamas has accepted the entire construct of President Trump's proposal for releasing the hostages. That's number one, okay? 48, 20 that are alive, 28 that are deceased. And now what's happening, even as I speak to you right now, is there's talks ongoing, which we hope will be finalized very quickly, on the logistics of that. You know, who's going to go in, what time are they going to be released, how's all that going to work? So that's good news. I think that we are the closest we have been in a very long time to having no hostages held by Hamas, either living or deceased. The second part of this, and it's going to be a much tougher part of it, is what happens after that? Who's going to run Gaza moving forward? It can't be Hamas. It can't be a terrorist organization. It has to be governed. The Israelis want it to be governed by Palestinian technocrats that aren't building tunnels and aren't launching rockets and aren't conducting terrorist attacks. And the details on that part of the deal are going to be difficult to work through. We've got general outlines of it, and which Hamas has generally accepted, though not entirely. Some of it is going to have to be discussed, moving back and forth. But ultimately, that is what permanent peace is going to be dependent upon, and that is that Gaza is no longer controlled by a terrorist organization like Hamas. And the demobilization of terrorism in Gaza is the end goal here in terms of ensuring that this never happens again. That's going to be hard. That's going to take a lot of work and a little bit of time, but we've got a good outline for getting there that has a lot of support from the Arab world, and President Trump deserves a lot of credit for putting together. So that's the way I would view it. We got to get the hostages out, we got to get the war stopped, and then we've got to find a permanent solution to this so it never happens again. And we're working on all three as we speak, with the top priority first and foremost is all 48 hostages being released as soon as possible.
So in a best case scenario, sir, according to the roadmap that we have seen, Hamas releases the 20 hostages we believe remain alive, and as well as the remains of the 28 other people who they have killed. And then in exchange, the Israelis will release, we believe, in the ballpark of hundreds of convicted Palestinian terrorists, and then gradually phase out of Gaza. It seems like a bitter pill for the Israelis to swallow.
Yeah, it most certainly. I mean, this is not unprecedented, unfortunately. We have seen in the past hundreds of Palestinian, terrorists be released in exchange for one Israeli soldier. I mean, this is an unfortunate thing that we've seen in the past happen as well. But the Israelis are very committed. All the people of Israel and their government are very committed to getting these hostages back to their families. As unfair and as unjust and as unbalanced as a deal like that may be, that's how important life is to them. And it's not just phasing out. They would drop back to what's called the yellow line, which is basically where Israel stood inside of Gaza in the middle of August. And then at that point, the work would begin about building out who's going to govern Gaza moving forward. And that's where the international partners are going to be so critical, not just with personnel, but with money and resources to create a government governance structure led by non-Hamas, non-terrorist Palestinians. But that's going to take some time, not just to set up, but to build and to stabilize. And there's a lot of work that needs to happen. I mean, look, Gaza has been, as you know, a lot of damage been done there. That whole place has to be rebuilt. That's not going to happen in 72 hours or 6 weeks. I mean, that's going to take some time. And who's going to be in charge of it afterwards is going to take some time to create as well. But this is the closest we have been. This is the most progress we have seen with regards to ending this conflict and getting these hostages released in a very long time. And it all happened because President Trump put that on the table and built this international coalition, including Arab and Islamic countries. Without him putting that together, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now.
Sir, overnight, Liren Berman, the brother of 2 hostages in Hamas captivity, described the feeling for Israeli family members of hostages right now as being suspended between hope and dread. It reflects very poignantly, I think, how a lot of Americans and Israelis and even Palestinian civilians are feeling about this moment. Nobody, as you well know, sir, wants false reassurances. To your point a moment ago, what is different on the ground right now that gives you so much confidence a deal is going to finally go over the finish line in the next few days?
Well, I think what's different, look, no one here can tell you this is 100% guaranteed. We are dealing at the end of the day with Hamas. This is the group that on October 7th, 2 years ago, came in and basically butchered babies and teenage girls at a music concert and took hostages and did horrific atrocities. That's who we're dealing with here, okay? We're not dealing with a political movement. We are dealing with killers and savages and terrorists. That's who we're dealing with. That said, what gives you hope here is that at least there now is a framework for how all this can come to an end and those hostages can be released.
So what do you think about what Rubio had to say, and why do the Democrats keep pretending that Trump is like some kind of fascist when he's brokering peace deals to the best of his ability around the globe? Of course, we want to see him get a deal done between Israel and Hamas. We want to see a deal done between Russia and Ukraine. And he has been a part of at least 7 peace deals around the globe. Remember India and Pakistan, for example. That is between 2 nuclear powers. But he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Heck, Barack Obama was given a Nobel Peace Prize, and he was drone bombing American citizens in the Middle East. And Trump is brokering peace deals left and right. He's not even up for a conversation by the Nobel Prize Committee, which we, of course, know is a partisan hack organization at this point, completely discrediting themselves because they don't like Trump's America First policies. They are globalists, and anything that gets in the way of their radical political agenda, of course, they're going to condemn and oppose to the best of their abilities. So what do you think about this? Can Trump get the deal finalized? Can he get these hostages released? It looks like the deal has been accepted in principle. This is a great step forward, and we really want Americans to weigh in on this. So thank you for watching Explain America.